Hello, everyone. My name is Brieuc Posnic. I work for the European Commission for its Directorate General for Energy in the service in charge of consumers, local initiatives, and just transition. And the purpose of my intervention today will be to give you a bit of policy context on how the EU intends to involve and empower citizens in the clean energy transition. I suppose that if you're listening to this webinar, you actually have an interest in EU policies, especially as regards energy and climate. So I will not take too much time describing our overall policy, the European Green Deal. So in a few words only, the Green Deal is the new energy and climate agenda of the EU. It is the world's most ambitious of its kind. And with the Green Deal, we aim to reduce our emissions by 55% by 2030 and reach climate neutrality by 2050. We will do so by deeply changing the way our economy and our society work, by putting sustainability and fairness at the center. And we will do so by accelerating the clean energy transition, by investing in decentralized renewables, in renovating homes, and in helping citizens save energy. These last points bring me to the main reason for this session and for my intervention, which is that citizens are at the center of the revolution we're living as regards the clean energy transition, and this on several accounts. First, from a technical point of view, the new clean energy solutions we have are decentralized, extremely decentralized, and they require action at individual level, whether this is about installing solar PVs on your roof or insulating your house. Second, from an economic and legal point of view, we give more and more power and protection to consumers to allow them to play their role in the transition to the fullest and to become active participants in the market, not only consuming, but also producing energy, becoming what we call prosumers. Third, from a philosophical and social justice point of view, we need people to understand, to benefit, and to support the clean energy transition. They need to be involved in this transition so that it's not something that is decided at central level and on which they have no say and no role to play. Remember, the future of energy is decentralized, so decision-making should be too. They also need to be helped, as not everyone has the same means or the same starting point. This is why we're talking about a just transition, which is inclusive and mindful of the socioeconomic impacts that the clean energy transition can bring. Today, you will hear about 3 upcoming live calls that perfectly illustrate our ambitions as regards this citizen-led, inclusive, clean energy transition. In the first place, you'll hear about a call to address home renovations in vulnerable districts. This echoes our policy regarding energy poverty. Today, 34 million Europeans have difficulties to keep their home adequately warm or cool. And we need to make sure that buildings are renovated and consume as little energy as possible, especially in districts and neighborhoods where inhabitants have fewer resources, because this is a matter, of course, of energy transition, but this is also a matter of fairness. Energy bills must be kept to an acceptable, affordable level all across Europe and across all social groups. Europeans must be able to afford energy, a clean, safe, reliable energy. And this is the sense of this action on home renovations in vulnerable districts. We want you basically to test approaches that are cost effective and that are inclusive, so that we can replicate them all around Europe. In the second place, you will hear about a call on support mechanisms for energy communities. This is another key element of our policy. Citizens must be given the tools to act on the energy sector, to produce and consume energy in new, innovative, and efficient ways. And one way to do that is to do it collectively by associating within new legal structures that we call energy communities. There are many examples of such communities taking shape in the EU today. It can be at the scale of one building, of one neighborhood, It can even associate a local school or local supermarket that has solar PVs on its roof. It can associate a local farmer in the countryside with some biomass resources to be turned into energy that would then be used by the community. So there are many ways to do this collective work. And more importantly, I would say there is no best way. All depends on the place and on the people that are involved. So this action is basically to test different modalities of cooperation within an energy community, support their creation and their operation, and allow some citizen-led initiatives on clean energy to take off. Finally, we have a call on community-driven clean energy projects in coal, peat, and oil shale regions. This is a sort of subcategory of the previous call, which pays a specific attention to regions where you have an ongoing transition away from fossil fuel extraction and more specifically solid fossil fuels, coal, peat, and oil shale. Why that? Because these regions face specific challenges. They have relied on coal, on peat, or on oil shale for decades, and it has affected local energy systems on the one hand, but also mentalities on the other hand. You usually have very little to no clean energy at all installed locally. And residents are used to benefit from cheap, sometimes even free energy, which is given by the mining company or the local power plant as a sort of compensation for the nuisance caused by mining or burning fossil fuels. You also have district heating systems that are purely coal-based or peat-based and that need to be replaced to be converted to clean energy. So you have these particular challenges locally in these regions. And what we want to do is to give power to the people to make these changes, to the community, to ensure that, contrary to what we had in the past, they actually have ownership of the transition. They have a say in the way they produce and consume energy. So in the end, what ties these three calls together is the interest in supporting citizen-led inclusive transition that leaves no one behind and that gives the tools to everyone to act and implement clean energy transition at their level. We hope you will find these calls inspiring, that they will match your needs, and that you will make the most of them. It only now is time for me to thank you for tuning in, and I wish you all a very good webinar.